Get him! Fuck yeah! Oh! Yeah! Oh! Oh! Hey guys, Game.Film here. Now, I beat 58 games in 2021, 40 games in 2022, but only 17 games last year in 2023. Real life kicked my behind, but I'm really excited for what 2024 has in store. Definitely going to up those numbers this year. Going to talk about all 17 games I beat, recommend them to you. Let's get into it. Number 1, Dead Space Remake. Now this is a remake done right. Top tier graphics, it ran so smooth on my PS5. One of the scariest games I've ever played. Excellent weapon and enemy variety. One of my favorite parts is just when you are getting used to one type of enemy, you know how to take them out. You get to a new area and they throw you a different monster, and then you have to think on the fly on how to dispatch of them. I love that aspect of the game. I rate this one 9.5 out of 10. Number 2, Proteus. This is a fantastic indie first-person shooter. If you're into old school and new school Doom games, you'll like this one. It's very satisfying to blow enemies away with a wide range of weapons. The maps have tons of secrets, so if you like searching every nook and cranny of a game, this is another reason to like Proteus. I rate it 7.5 out of 10. Number 3, Resident Evil 4 Remake. This is my 2023 Game of the Year. I reviewed it fully here on my YouTube channel if you'd like an in-depth review. It's a 10 out of 10 game. I played it twice last year, and I rarely replay games ever. Play this ASAP. Number 4, Dusk. Another fantastic indie first-person shooter. It's got PS1 retro graphics, and like Proteus mentioned before, if you're a fan of Doom, the Quake series, you'll definitely like this one. It's got a lot of charm. The little details the developers put in the game really put a smile on my face at times. Excellent level design with plenty of secrets to be found. I rate this one a 9 out of 10. Number 5, Call of Duty World War II. I don't play Call of Duty games much anymore, but I was fiending for a shooter in that World War II setting, and it was pretty good. Solid story, pretty insane graphics for a PS4 game, I think. And I like the sound design and difficulty this one had. I rate this one a 7 out of 10. Number 6, we've got Ruiner. This is an indie cyberpunk action hack and slash. That's how I would describe this one. It has that isometric point of view. The gameplay is also similar to Hades. The finishers are insane, man. I loved it. And I enjoyed the tough difficulty. The CPU really makes you earn those victories. There's also a little hub world that looks very stunning. I rate this one an 8 out of 10. Number 7, we've got Resident Evil 5 Professional Mode in both DLCs. This is one of the greatest co-op games of all time, man. My friend and I started the game with no items carried over from previous playthroughs, and it was so nerve-wracking but fun at the same time. I have a longer review of this game here on my YouTube channel if you'd like to hear more. The Lost in Nightmares DLC was excellent. Definitely scared my partner and I a few times, and it was neat exploring the mansion again. 9 out of 10 ranking on these. Number 8, we've got Bread and Fred. This is one of my favorite 2023 games and one of the best co-op experiences I've ever had. Partner and I were dying of laughter constantly. Find a friend that you work well with, turn checkpoints on, you'll thank me later. Even if you aren't into platformers, please give this indie game a try. I'll rate this one a 9 out of 10. Number 9, we have Final Fantasy 16. I also reviewed this game in detail here on my channel. Some of the best cutscenes and graphics I've ever seen, but the game got stale the more I played it. Combat was addicting, but again, I got burnt out by the last third of the game. This is around a 7.5 out of 10 rating for me. Number 10, we have Final Fantasy 1 on PSP. This is a solid JRPG that is minimal in story, dialogue, and exploration. The game is pretty easy, but the last quarter of the game does get challenging. The final boss was an epic match, and it took me about an hour and 15 minutes to beat him. I really like the spell animations. The random encounter rate, though, was absolutely garbage. I hated that part of the game. Still, as a Final Fantasy fan, it's a must play. I rate this one a 6 out of 10. Number 11, Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways DLC. This is seriously one of the best DLCs I've played from any game. I usually don't add DLCs in best of lists, but this took me 12 hours to beat, and it felt like a full game. Hardcore difficulty felt so perfect. I love the boss fights in this one. 10 out of 10 rating. Go play it ASAP. Alright, number 12, we've got 50 Cent Bulletproof. Okay, this one I recommend playing inebriated, as it's so goofy and a bit janky. You will die of laughter from the dialogue, cutscenes, and gameplay. I also reviewed this one in detail on my YouTube channel. I rate this one a 6 out of 10. Number 13, we have the Callisto Protocol. This was a very flawed game, but I strangely couldn't put it down. Graphics are excellent, no doubt about it. Combat is extremely easy, but it has little variety. Same with the enemy selection. Death animations are cool, but there aren't many of them. The story is pretty whack, and the ending was not earth-shattering at all. Buy it on sale for 20 bucks or less. I rate it a 5.5 out of 10. Number 14 is Trepang Squared, or Trepang 2. I am a huge fan of the Fear series, so I had to pick this one up. This is a darn good first-person shooter. You can slow time down, you can cloak yourself to go stealth, or escape a hairy situation. You really feel like you're in a John Woo or Matrix movie while doing combat. It also has great horror elements to boot. There's not much story-wise, this is all about the combat. I say check this one out, definitely. I rate it an 8.5 out of 10. Number 15, we have the Outlast Trials. This is a must-play co-op horror game, y'all. You have no weapons to defend yourself except a couple of bricks and bottles you find on the ground to only stun enemies. Half the time you are in pitch darkness and you have to use night vision with limited battery. You avoid enemies and traps, you stay as quiet as possible while trying to solve puzzles. The atmosphere and enemies can be over the top, like the look and sound of them, for example. This is very thrilling though and should be played with a friend. 8.5 out of 10 rating for me. Number 16, we have Dino Trauma. Now this is a love letter to Dino Crisis and PS1 era horror games. If you're a fan of Dino Crisis and Half-Life, then this game is for you. Not quite survival horror-y-ish, as I feel I always had enough ammo, but you can definitely run out if you aren't careful. Same with the healing items. Puzzles are solid, and there are some moments of platforming to keep things interesting. I rate this one a 7.5 out of 10. Number 17, we have Wo Long Fallen Dynasty. Now this is probably the hardest game I beat last year, one of the best. Think of it like a fast-paced Soulsborne game. It's from the creators of Nioh 1 and 2. I struggled hard with understanding how combat works, but I never gave up, and about halfway in, as I started to level up my character, learn how to parry and dodge, then I started wrecking foes easily. There's an insane amount of weapon and armor choices, special movesets, magic you use, cool looking enemies and bosses. I love this game. I give it a 8.5 out of 10. Alright guys, that about wraps up this video. I missed out on so many great games last year. Spider-Man 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Alan Wake Remastered 2, among many others. And it was a great year for gaming, man, but definitely got to catch up on those. 2024, we got Earthblade coming out, the creators of Celeste. Really excited about that one since Celeste is my favorite game of all time. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, those trailer gameplays are freaking insane, so definitely can't wait for that one. Hey guys, I'm all across social media, Twitter, X app, Instagram, TikTok. I'm on Twitch. I'm definitely streaming from time to time there. Don't forget to hit the like button on this one. Comment, it really helps that algorithm. Don't forget to sub too. How could I forget about that one? But thank you for watching and take care.